Hey everybody, it's Billy from Spicy Ginger Soap, and I have set up to do some eyeshadow tonight. So I got a couple different things. I ordered 2 different types of eyeshadow cases. I've got this one here, and it's kind of cheap, kind of lightweight. The pans just come out fairly easily. See, and they're very lightweight pans. And these were, I got these on eBay. I believe they were like a couple dollars each. They weren't very expensive, but you know, it doesn't mean that it wouldn't hold eyeshadows, and just got to make sure that you either glue them down or put a magnet on underneath it, whatever you want to do. I wouldn't put the magnet in because I think this is too cheap to spend the money on doing magnets. I'd probably just glue them in this one and then pop them out if they were done and put new ones. Then I ordered from AliExpress this one, and you can just, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's just heavier weight. This is like flimsy plastic. This is heavier weight. It's very nice. The closure is nice. And then the pans, it's just much nicer. And these pans are actually magnetic. So it just, it brings it back down. So, and it's got a pretty good pull to it, to be honest. The magnet in there, it's got a pretty good pull. These were like $6 each, $6 or $7 each. So I got 2 of these, and I think I bought 4 of those other ones, but they're worth the extra money. They're far nicer. And so I think tonight I'm going to make a couple pans of eyeshadow. This will just be for me, but the other thing that I purchased is, if I ever do decide to make them and sell them, or even if I just decide to make them and then, you know, give them away as gifts or whatnot, I bought these little clamshells to hold sorry, I'm stuck. There we go. So these hold an eyeshadow. I don't know if you put it there. Yeah, I think that's how you do it. So you put it in there, and then, you know, people can put it in their little magnetic eyeshadow case. So anyhow, I thought those were really nifty. I got those from AliExpress also. They've got little, I don't know what you call those, but they've got the little punch out where you can put them on a rack. Put those away. Alright, so let's get down to business. So I've got a couple different, I've got a bunch of different micas out. I also have some of my soaping micas. This Martini Olive from Crafter's Choice. It's one of my favorite micas, and I want to make an eyeshadow in this for sure. I think this will make a really pretty one. And a lot of the time I actually mix this mica with my emerald green to make more of like a hunter green, and I think that would be a really pretty eyeshadow also. So I'm just going to kind of play around. I bought this from TKB, the Smoky Triple X, and I definitely knew I was going to make an eyeshadow out of this. I've already made an eyeshadow out of this Gold Sparks. I think I mixed some satin white and like some of the highlight copper in with it for just a loose eyeshadow for my daughter, but I want to make a pressed one. So I think that's what I'll start out with tonight. Oh, look at that. It just goes everywhere. You see my hand? All over my hand already. Okay, so, okay, well, I am sparkly. You know, this is a messy undertaking. All right. So basically, and this is the first time I've done this, so please bear with me as I fumble through. I'm gonna try to get things as close for you guys on camera as I can. And then go ahead and start out with one of my pans. Okay, so basically I'm going to put, you know what, I'm just going to use my little spoonie here. So basically, I don't, you know, I'm not sure exactly, but I'm just going to start with a little bit, just filling the bottom there. And then I believe you just use like two to 3 drops for a pan this size. And then I'm just going to mix all of it together. They're not going to mix completely, obviously, because, well, they do mix actually pretty good. All right, so the whole bottom is basically covered with liquid. And now we'll go ahead and put some of our mica in. And then you just, I'm definitely going to need some more alcohol. There we go. And then you just keep mixing it. You want to get basically evenly distributed. I really think this is going to make a pretty eyeshadow. A really great highlighting eyeshadow. So you're seeing kind of getting like, it's getting like a little bit clumpy, which is, I believe, what you want, because you want to know that all of that press-it binder is binding to the mica. That's what's going to keep it, get it to stick together. That's what I've been able to gather from, you know, basically the research that I've done. So I believe that that's what you want to see, and then you're going to add some more alcohol. And I'm sure you could make these as full or not as you want. Obviously, I kind of want to, well, not obviously, but I kind of want it to be, you know, fairly full, just because I think it'll look better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some more in there while it's nice and wet. And then I'm going to mix that in. And I may need a little more alcohol. We'll see. Yeah. And it doesn't really matter how much alcohol you use. I mean, you could use too much, I'm sure, but having it be nice and wet is fine because all of that is going to evaporate up off of it or out of it eventually anyways, and you are going to press a lot of it out also. This is actually looking really good, but I know when you press it down you lose some of it too, so I may want to put, I'm just going to show you guys, see, like it looks pretty full, but I think once I press that down it's going to press it, really compact it, so I need more. And I think basically it does seem like you use quite a bit of mica just for one pan. There we go. And also I've seen, I think they recommend to do it in 2 steps, like press one layer down and then press another layer down. But from what I can gather from, you know, a couple videos that I've watched, which it's funny, there's not all that much in the way of YouTube videos as far as making your own eyeshadows and pressing them. But from what I have been able to find, it looks like, I just totally lost my train of thought. Oh, you don't need to do that 2-step thing. Yeah, for a minute there I lost my train of thought. So I'm just going to do it in one pressing. I think that looks pretty good. It's basically full to the top, which I know when I press it, it's going to come down a little, but that's okay. Maybe I'll put just a tiny bit more in. It's basically just a learn as I go type of thing. That was like a half of a scoop. Put that in there and press that in. And what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to mix all this up, set it aside, do a couple more, and then I'll come back and see if I think it's ready to press it. There we go. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I like that that's a little bit fuller. There we go. That is so pretty. I love it. All that gold sparkle. So there it is up close. And the other thing that I've seen, which makes complete sense, is to get like a flat surface and so you get any bubbles that are in there out, and it also levels it out. All right, so I'm going to set that one aside. And let's see, we can do let's do the Smoky Triple X. That's a good one. All right, so basically, same thing. And I'm really not that worried about, yeah, I cleaned it off, so I was going to say I'm not really worried if there's a little bit of sparkle on the end of this, but I wiped it off, and there's not really anything on there, I don't think. I'm also kind of thinking about doing, like I said before, mixing some colors. That's weird. It's like a little gelatinous thing in there that came out of that press-it binder. I don't know if that's supposed to be in there. I'm not going to chance it, and I'm going to take it out of there. I don't know what the heck that was. Okay. I hope that wasn't all of the... Gosh. Now I'm just going to put one more little thing in there. It seemed like it was the whole... Yeah, no, it doesn't turn into a gelatinous little thing, so there we go. We'll just do that, and then we'll get my... When these open, sometimes they just fly everywhere. Got to open them really carefully. Alright, let's get my pretty brown here. So pretty. Okay. Go ahead and press that down. This color is so gorgeous. It like shimmers, kind of like magenta, purple, red, gold. It's very pretty. I really like it a lot. I wouldn't mind mixing this with a little bit of gold mica. I may do that too. So this is pressing really nicely. Kind of like incorporating really well, it seems like. And put a little bit more alcohol. Put some more alcohol in my little cap. I'm gonna try to get a little, like the Mix-It binder, I want a little dropper like that for my alcohol too. Alright, let's get some more mica in there. It's funny, this one seems thicker than the previous one. It's like a lot thicker and almost like sticky. Alright, let's put some more in there. Fill this puppy up. I'm so excited to basically see how these turn out and to be able to use them. Eyeshadow is, you know, super fun, obviously. Put a little bit more alcohol. Get that nice and not wet, but kind of. Yeah, this one looks so pretty. I think maybe a tiny bit more alcohol, so I can get it nice and evenly distributed. And maybe a bit more mica, not too much. It's pretty full, but a little bit. That's looking better. Alright, there we go. I'm going to let that be as it is. I think that's good enough. I'm just going to drop it a couple of times to kind of trying to find something other than that. Just do it. Oh well, I guess this already has some stuff on it, so I'll just use it. But I wouldn't suggest doing what I'm doing, because now this mic is all over this thing and I don't know how I'm going to get it off. Oh yeah, that looks much better. It evens it out. Much better. And that's going to be so pretty. Alright, so we'll set that one aside also. And then let's go ahead and do like I said and try mixing one. Let's try, and I got this little thing just to mix it up in. I'm going to do I cleaned this out, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, I did. Want to make sure. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do like 1 scoop of each. I'm going to do my emerald green and my martini olive. I could even put like a little bit of brown in there too, but I'm not going to. I could add extra gold. There's a whole bunch of different things I could do. I'm going to put a little bit more. I want a little bit more of the martini olive in there. So that's basically 2.5 scoops. And obviously you're probably going to lose some of your mica doing it like this, but I just want a way to mix it up real good. Alright, let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, see? That's exactly what I'm talking about. So it's basically like more of kind of a hunter green now. Alright, let's get my pan ready. Alright. This is so pretty. And like I said before, this, I could just see putting a little extra gold mica in here would look really, really pretty. I hate losing mica over the sides. Okay, I think it's safe that we can add some more mica. A little bit more alcohol. Yeah, it keeps from losing a bunch of mica to add the alcohol, so at least it's wet and it comes in and mixes easier. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more alcohol and then add another scoop of my mica. That's almost the perfect amount. Look at that. Thank goodness. That's like exactly how much I have, so I don't think there's like a little tiny bit in here, but I don't think, yeah, I can get a little bit more out. That's about it. All right, so that's what that one looks like. Look how pretty it is. Oh, geez. This is a messy job for sure. I'm gonna level it out and get any of my air bubbles out. And then there it is. Set that aside until we can press it. That one may be a little bit more liquidy than my other ones. But as you can see, look at, that's the one that we just did, and look at how much of the alcohol has already evaporated. So it happens pretty quick, I'd say. This one, same thing, it looks like it's evaporated almost completely. Not completely, but a lot. All right, let's see, what else should we do? How about a gold? That's what we'll do next. A nice beigey gold, because that's another one that I wanted to do. All right, I know what I'll do. I'm going to use the Oriental beige and maybe some of this pink coral, I think is what I'll use. We'll try that, see how that goes. Oh, but I gotta see if I can get this cleaned out so I can use this to mix them. I didn't think about bringing more than one container to mix them in. My hands are completely green at this point. Okay, that's okay though. Okay. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing as I did before. Use about a nice heaping and a little bit more of that one, the pink coral, and then a nice heaping pinch of the Oriental beige. See how that turns out. Then maybe I should try a matte. I hear the matte shadows are a lot harder to do. I'm not sure if there's a different procedure though. Let's see what that looks like. That's pretty. So that'll be the color. I would say that's pretty well mixed in, so I think I can add a little bit more alcohol and then I'll add another scoop. Ooh, that was kind of a lot. Just making sure everything's nice and mixed together. And then I'll put another scoop in there. Still got a little bit more, and I do need it. This isn't full. I'm going to go ahead and put the last of it in there, and then I'm going to put some more alcohol. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and alright, there's that one. That's the Oriental Beige and the Pink Coral. So that's a pretty color. It's not exactly what I was thinking about, but it's pretty. I was more thinking of like a nude. That's a little bit darker than a nude. But that's okay. So I think what we'll do is we'll just try to do a matte and see if it is a different procedure or not than what we're doing before. And the way I'm going to do that, I think, is I think I'll use, let's see, maybe some of my Press It base. Or maybe, you know what? This is what I want to do. Let's do some of the satin white with the brown oxide and see how it works to mix a mica with a matte oxide. How about that? Alright, and I'm just going to use the same container because close enough in color to be okay, if you ask me. Alright, so I've got a little bit more than a full pinch scoop in there. And then I'm only going to add, oh, I should actually add more of the satin white because the matte brown oxide is going to be a lot more, it's a lot more pigmented, so you need a lot less of it. Alright, I'm going to use my drop scoop. I'm going to do a heaping of that. And then let's just see. I mean, I just kind of want to play around with it and see how that goes. Oh wow, actually it didn't color it near as much as I thought it was going to. Let me show it to you. And then I'm actually going to probably put some more of the brown in there. Look, it's super light. So I'm going to put some more brown in there. And go ahead and do a pinch. And then let's see how what that does. Still pretty light. I don't actually like the color, so I'll show it to you guys before I put more in it, but that looks ugly to me. It looks really ugly. Let's see, what do I want to do with this? I guess I'll just put more brown in it. See how that goes. Still fairly light. It's like a real light beige, but this one I actually could see wearing. Let's see. I'll show you guys. It's like a real light tan color. Oh wow, when you put it on the skin though, look at it. That's like so dark. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's like crazy. How did, oh my gosh. Okay, so let's do this. Oh my gosh, that's so nuts. Look at that. I'm glad we did that. That's so crazy. Alright, let me see. We'll wash that off real quick. Alright, I don't really like that color. But just because, for curiosity's sake, let's go ahead and do a pan in that color and see if when it hits the liquid is when you see all that brown. Because maybe that's what it is. Maybe it has to be wet for you to see how dark the brown is. I don't know. That was just so crazy. Alright, let's see. Let's get this in there. Yeah, I can see it darkening up a little bit, but not quite as much as I thought it was going to, based on how it looked on my hand. This is like the magic eyeshadow. It looks light tan and you put it on and it's dark brown. So crazy. Yeah, actually I'm starting to see a little bit. I think I've got a fuzzy in there. Yeah, it's definitely starting to look darker, but not quite as dark as it looked on my hand to me. So, go ahead and put some more in there. Just want you guys to see how that looks kind of up close. So it did get a little bit darker when mixed with the liquid, but not, still in my opinion, not quite as dark as it looked on my hand. Although that underneath part does look a little darker to me too. Alright, so I'm going to put some more in there. Try to get the last of it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit all of it in here actually, but we'll see. We actually use a lot of alcohol. More than I kind of thought that I would. Alright, let's get the rest of this in there. So if you ask me, it's kind of, looks can be deceiving if you mix, well, maybe it's because I used white and then dark brown, but it does seem like looks can be a little bit deceiving if you mix matte oxide with mica. Trying to get it a little bit evened out. So there's that one, and it still looks a lot lighter in the pan than it did on my hand, so we'll have to see how. That's kind of interesting and good to know, I think. You know, it's like really good to know that that's how it reacts. So that's pretty much it. I guess we can try to press one of these. I think they look like they might be okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and try pressing one of them. Where's my pressing tile? Got lost somewhere. Where did they go? Oh, here it is. Okay, and I have more than one. The package came with 3. And you know what's weird though too, is look at this. It's smaller. So that's kind of a bummer, but, and actually maybe I should just use a quarter instead. I'd have to go look for one though, so I'm just going to use this and see how it works. Alright, so basically you want to, you could use like cloth, but I'm just going to use this napkin. I know I've seen people use like just an old piece of cloth, or they have that pressing ribbon, and then you just basically it doesn't even like really do much on the paper towel as far as is what I'm talking about. So yeah, you can see how like a little bit of liquid and just a little bit of color comes off. See, because it's not the exact size though, I don't like the finish on this. I'm gonna have to see if like a quarter works better, because this is not the exact size. I don't know if you can see, but there's like a little rim because this isn't the exact size of the pan. But look at how pretty. So there's a pressed eyeshadow, and you just put it in my pan. We'll do one more. Get a different napkin so I don't get that color on anything. And then we'll do this pretty white one that I'm so excited to use. Yeah, gosh, I wish this was like, I'm not going to press it anymore because I'm going to get a quarter and see if it fits in there better. But that is that. So cool. So pretty. I'm so excited to use these. And it really was fairly simple if you ask me. A little bit of a messy project, but simple nonetheless. And once these are fully dry, you know, I'll maybe give you guys a quick like swatch of them, what they look like. So that's that for tonight. I hope that was fun, entertaining, exciting, informative, whatever. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. Bye-bye.